As the 2025 NFL season approaches, all eyes are understandably on rookie quarterback Caleb Williams and the high-powered weapons now surrounding him. But beneath the headlines lies a strategic advantage the Chicago Bears possess that could quietly play a pivotal role this season. And it's something few are talking about. According to a recent analysis from Bookies.com, the Bears will travel the fifth least total miles of any NFL team this year. Chicago's team is scheduled to travel just 12,522 miles, significantly below the league average of 19,561 miles. Compared to other NFC North teams, the Bears' situation is favorable. The Packers, 12,929 miles, and Lions, 11,411 miles, have similar travel demands, but the Vikings face a grueling 19,319-mile schedule, largely due to their international game. The impact of this can't be overstated. Travel fatigue is a real factor in the NFL. By minimizing flight hours and coast-to-coast transitions, players preserve their bodies, particularly late in the year when injuries accumulate and playoff pushes begin. Less travel means fresher legs, better recovery time, and ultimately a performance edge in close games. To further underline this advantage, consider that the San Francisco 49ers, one of the Bears' toughest non-divisional opponents, will travel 28,363 miles, more than twice Chicago's distance. That discrepancy can absolutely manifest on game days, especially in December and January. This reduced travel load is also a huge bonus for a rookie quarterback like Caleb Williams, who is not only learning a new offensive system under Ben Johnson, but is also adjusting to the speed and complexity of NFL defenses. More time on the practice field instead of on airplanes means more reps, more chemistry with receivers, and a faster learning curve. Another factor to watch is the Bears' schedule on national spotlight days. Chicago will face the Eagles on Black Friday, November 28th, on Amazon Prime, and square off against the Packers on Saturday, December 20th on Fox. There are also rumblings about a possible Christmas Day game against Washington. While some worry these special games disrupt routines, they also provide national exposure and primetime opportunities for this young roster to build confidence under pressure. For a franchise in the midst of a rebuild, this schedule, both in terms of travel and spotlight matchups, is exactly what you'd want. It sets the stage for Caleb Williams to find his rhythm, and for Ben Johnson to implement his system without the grind of constant travel. In a sport where tiny advantages often decide games, this could be a key factor in turning potential into wins. While most of the focus remains on the top names in Chicago's rookie class, particularly Caleb Williams and wide receiver Rome Odunze, there's a seventh-round pick drawing attention at Halas Hall for all the right reasons. Meet Kyle Monangai, a running back from Rutgers University, taken late in the 2025 NFL Draft. On paper, a seventh-round selection rarely stirs excitement, but in practice, Monangai is already turning heads and could be positioning himself as one of the surprise contributors this season. The Bears currently feature a running back rotation that includes DeAndre Swift, Rashawn Johnson, Travis Homer, and now Monangai. Swift is the clear starter, especially after signing a new deal. However, Ben Johnson's history in Detroit shows a consistent preference for two-back systems, where one running back operates as the shifty, pass-catching threat, while the other handles more physical, between-the-tackles work. That's where Monangai could thrive. At Rutgers, Monangai made a name for himself as a tough, downhill runner who rarely fumbled and often carried defenders for extra yards. His ball security and consistency were key traits that NFL coaches covet, especially from rookies. In a system where fumbles can get you benched quickly, Monangai's reliability gives him a real shot at meaningful playing time. Of course, Monangai's path isn't clear-cut. The Bears have reportedly shown interest in former Browns star Nick Chubb, who's recovering from a significant injury. If signed, Chubb would instantly slot in as a co-starter or top backup, significantly lowering Monangai's chances of cracking the rotation. But unless or until that happens, Monangai is very much in play. It's also important to consider how Chicago's rebuilt offensive line could make life easier for any running back. The additions of Joe Thuney, Jonah Jackson, and Drew Dahlman have turned what was a glaring weakness in 2024 into a potential strength. With better blocking up front, Monangai doesn't need to be a superstar. He just needs to be reliable and decisive, two things he already showed on tape in college. More than anything, what makes Monangai intriguing is the system he's walking into. Ben Johnson's offenses have consistently been creative in the run game, using misdirection, motion, and strategic blocking to spring runners for big gains. Someone in this backfield is going to benefit, and while most assume it'll be Swift or Rashawn Johnson, Monangai's skill set makes him an ideal candidate for high-leverage carries, especially in short yardage and red zone situations. While no one is predicting a Pro Bowl rookie season, Monangai could very well become the Bears' version of Isaiah Pacheco, the late-round back who became a key piece of the Chiefs' offense. If Monangai makes the active roster and earns snaps early, don't be surprised if he sticks and thrives. Not everyone agrees with the Bears' off-season strategy, particularly when it comes to the selection of Luther Burden III in the second round of the 2025 NFL Draft. A recent article from Bleacher Report labeled Chicago the worst possible destination for Burden's development, raising concerns about target share and depth chart crowding. That take, however, might be missing the bigger picture. Yes, the Bears already boast a loaded receiver room with DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and newly drafted tight end Colston Loveland. But since when did having too much talent become a problem? The idea that Burden's potential could be wasted because there are other good players on the field feels more rooted in fantasy football thinking than real football logic. Burden is no raw project. In 3 seasons at Missouri, he caught 192 passes for 2,263 yards and 21 touchdowns, including a breakout final year in 2024, where he posted 86 catches for 1,212 yards and 9 touchdowns, earning back-to-back first-team All-SEC honors. He's a proven slot weapon, exactly what Chicago's offense needs to complement Moore and Odunze on the outside. Ben Johnson's history as offensive coordinator in Detroit should also calm any doubts. Under his leadership, multiple receivers flourished at once, including Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and Sam Laporta. The blueprint is there, and Burden fits it perfectly. His quickness, route running, and toughness make him an ideal fit for the short to intermediate game, where he can help move the chains and create mismatches against linebackers and safeties. More importantly, Ryan Poles and the front office made it clear that Burden was the best player on their board at pick 39. Rather than reach for a positional need, they opted for talent. That's exactly how good franchises draft. Critics forget one key thing. The Bears had a plan when they drafted Burden. They didn't panic. They didn't trade down. They turned in the card, which tells you they're confident he has a defined role in this offense. Even if Burden isn't WR1 on the stat sheet every week, his presence could be critical in forcing defenses to stay honest, especially when lined up inside where quick throws from Williams can maximize his yards after catch ability. Beyond Burden, the entire 2025 offseason has been widely praised, including an A+ grade from Pro Football Focus. Only the Bears and Patriots received such high marks. But while New England is in a full rebuild, the Bears are knocking on the door of playoff contention. The offseason overhaul began with the hiring of Ben Johnson as head coach, perhaps the single most important move Chicago made. Johnson brought with him his dynamic offensive system and helped land Dennis Allen as defensive coordinator, creating what many now view as the most competent coaching staff the Bears have had in decades. Then came the offensive line rebuild, transforming one of 2024's worst units into a legitimate asset. With Thuney, Jackson, and Dahlman up front, and new weapons like Loveland, Burden, and Odunze, the Bears are arming Caleb Williams with every tool he could need. The only positional group left lightly addressed was running back. And as discussed earlier, Monangai might be the hidden solution there. Now the real test begins. All the optimism, grades, and roster upgrades are exciting, but off-season wins don't count. This team must now prove it on the field. With the right leadership in Johnson, a rebuilt offense around Caleb Williams, and a defense that already ranked among the NFL's best in 2024, expectations are higher than they've been in years. The question is no longer if the Bears are getting better. It's how much better they can be. Do you think Luther Burden was a steal or a luxury the Bears didn't need? Can Kyle Monangai really make the leap from 7th-rounder to starter? And does the travel advantage actually matter in the long grind of an NFL season? One thing is certain, the 2025 Chicago Bears aren't flying under the radar anymore. They're built to compete. Now it's time to deliver.